Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very long time. What's up? Where have I been? Yo, I've been dealing with a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of busy things that needed my attention, personal wise, that needed to be squared away before I even fill in any time with reviews. Though I did miss you guys very, very much. I miss dropping heat. I miss going out doing fragrance hunting and stuff like that, and that had to be put on hold as well due to other issues in my life that is being taken care of as of now. Don't need to get into details. Just know that I'm back, and from this video forward, my ambition and my goal is to put out a lot more videos and content for you guys to keep you guys informed and entertained. But like I always say, I'm talking too much. Without further ado, let's go. What's up, everybody? Trayvon here with Scent Talk TV, and today I will be doing a full review on a fragrance from the house of Haramain, if I pronounced that right. Found this particular fragrance at my local Burlington, and it was very inexpensive, and it intrigued me to pick it up because I really don't have a lot of Haramain fragrances. So this one I heard a little bit of good talk and good feedback about, so I decided to pick it up. Let's just jump into it. So that fragrance from the house of Haramain, this is Haramain's Laventure Fraiche. I think this is an EDT, or I think it's an EDT. Let me check. According to what I saw on the box, it's an extrait de parfum. So that's interesting. I thought it was an EDT or EDP for that matter, but I missed that. But it's an extrait de parfum. Now, as far as the price, I had the cellophane with the price sticker, and I threw it away on accident. Now, I believe I got this for like between $25, $30 and some change. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here is the box that it came in. I do like how this box looks. I like the nice pretty shade of green. You have the name of the house right here, got the name of the fragrance right there. When you open it up, it sits in this box just like that. And here it's a snug snap of the box, so it's not really loose or anything, won't flip up and anything like that. You got the name of the house right there. You got your ingredients and some information, QR code, barcode and stuff like that. And right here is very, very small. I don't know if you can see it. Where did it go? Oh, it's over here. Right here, the size and concentration right here. Nothing on the sides, nothing on the back, nothing on this side. So yeah, that's it for the box. All right, here is the bottle. Name of the house right here, as well as the name of the fragrance right there. You got on this cap, sorry for the smudge prints, the fingerprints and stuff like that. Name of the house like right there. It is a very, very snug fit of the cap. Around here, nothing, and yeah, nothing on the back. This is a glossy bottle, which I don't really like glossy bottles because of all the fingerprints, which makes it hard for me to do a crystal clear view of the bottle with no smudge prints because of the glossiness of these type of bottles. I do not like it at all. But on the inside of the cap, nothing inside the cap. But the atomizer, let's show off the atomizer real quick. Ooh, ain't nothing like it. That is beautiful. Okay, so what do I get out of this fragrance? This fragrance is beautiful. Opens up very citrusy, green, bright, like ozonic, like mineralized, like a green ozonic type of a smell. You know, it has a little bit of warm spiciness in the background. Has like this savory, cucumbery type of, you know, vibe and accord that lingers in the background. You know, it's masculine, and as it dries down on your skin, It is just a nice, just well-rounded, also powdery as well. You get a lot of masculine floralness that's bright and uplifting on top of that citrus and greenness that you get in this fragrance. It is a very, very close clone or a dupe of, what was that? I think it was Club de Nuit Sillage or Sillage, however you want to pronounce it. And I think Sylvan Mountain Water by Creed. Now it smells like those two fragrances, if not better, to be honest with you, because I did smell Silver Mountain Water before, and I do like it, but for some reason it seems like, from what I remember, this is a little bit more potent than that, on top of it being inexpensive. So yeah, if you like Creed's Silver Mountain Water and you don't want to make that big old purchase of that outrageous price that it's going for, this is a fantastic runner-up that you can find at your local Burlington for the Dolo. Okay, so let's hop into these notes, ladies and gentlemen. At the top, you got some bergamot, lemon, and some ginger. Right off top, that citrus accord that I've been talking about like a couple of seconds ago. You know, you get that immediately when you spray this fragrance on your skin. You get that citrusy, you know, somewhat sour, somewhat sweet, and appealing, like summertime, springtime type of a citrus. You know, the ginger is very sweet, kind of resinous, aromatic, like little bitter undertone with a little bit of a sparkly type of undertone, a little vibe that you get from that ginger. And it also has a little bit of warmth behind that as well. As you transition into the mid notes though, you get some tea, violet leaves, and some cardamom. The cardamom is what makes it a little bit more sweeter, but it's not too like a warm type of a sweet, because the type of freshness and citruses that you get in here, it really drowns out whatever sweetness that the cardamom has to offer. So if you try to see if you can get any type of warmth, coziness from that that sweetness from the cardamom, you're not gonna get it. At least on my skin, I didn't get that. More so, I just got a little bit like a sweet freshness, like the freshness from the citruses and the tea and stuff like that. You know, it really turned that cardamom into like a, you know, a sweet resinous type of a, you know, accord when it comes to that cardamom. But the violet leaves is like, you know, is floral, like a masculine floral type of a, you know, vibe that it gives off with the violet leaves. The tea is herbaceous, kind of like a dirty herbaceous type of a sweetness that's earthy as well, and green, which is phenomenal with that that bergamot and that ginger, as well as that lemon, those and the tea. Those four components that's in this fragrance, that resides in this fragrance, is a great combo. It's a great, fantastic combo. But anyway, moving right along into the the base notes. The base notes is musk, woody notes, and some saddlewood. Saddlewood, smooth, very, very smooth, woody type of a note that you get in the base of this fragrance. Not too noticeable, but you know, it's kind of like I said, it's smooth, it's subtle, it's not in your face. You know, it's just lingering in the background, chilling. So, but you still get it just a little bit. It's just not all over the place like everything else. But you know, the wood notes, you get some wood notes, which is basically just some woods, you know, and musk. You get like this dry, dusty type of animalic accord that you get from that musk. And overall, you just get this fabulous, outrageously good, citrusy, green tea-like fragrance that is just mind-blowing in my opinion. Very herbaceous, very citrusy, and it is a great staple for this time of year. So, this right here, for like between 25, 30 bucks and some change, you cannot go wrong, and I highly suggest that you pick this up. This is a great one. Okay, so the moment we all have been waiting for, what you guys been waiting for, is the performance. The performance was pretty solid. You know, it wasn't a beast, it wasn't weak either. It was like between like, you know, it was like a little bit over average, you know what I'm saying? You know, I went heavy like I always do with any fragrance that I wear. I go heavy with the sprays. So with that being said, the performance was quite solid between, like, you know, the projection. The projection was good between like a good hour to an hour and a half, set close to my skin. Total longevity though, a good 6 to 7 hours. It became a skin scent though after like the 3 to 4th hour mark. However, when heat hits it, when you're outside and you're working, you're outside, when you're moving, your body temperature amps up. Guess what? It's gonna push out a little bit more. However, I would suggest that you buy a backup bottle of this, because I promise you, this smell is addictive. You're gonna run through this bottle quite fast based on how addictive that this smell of this fragrance gives off is. It is wonderful. So the performance was quite solid on my skin. 6 to 7 hours. You know, that's just by overspraying. You might get a little bit less if you don't overspray, but that's based on your skin chemistry. Mine's, that's what I got. So when it comes to the age group for this bad boy, you know, I feel like it doesn't have a lot of complexity for it to not reside into all ages, because in my opinion, it does. You know, it does have, you know, some sweetness to it, some freshness, you know, that all ages can pull off. Any age can pull off, like, you know, fresh scents that's not too masculine. It does have a little bit of masculinity into it, but it's not too much to the point where, you know, that it's like old man, dated, you know, nostalgic smelling or anything like that. It's right where it needs to be. So in shorter terms, all ages can wear this one. Seasons. I think you guys already heard and mentioned when it comes to the seasons earlier in the video. I believe, and I honestly 100% believe, that this is a spring and summertime fragrance, obviously because of all the fresh and citruses that you get in it. So when it comes to, like, you know, I'd say like early fall, you know, when it's like a little bit warm, not too cold, not too hot or anything like that. I mean, when it's hot, I mean, you definitely want to wear this, but I'm just saying if it's not too cold is what I'm saying. When it's not too chilly and stuff like that, to where this fragrance can really pierce through the chill in the air in the fall time is what I'm trying to say. Winter time, I don't think so. I don't think this would be too suitable for the winter time, because it kind of throws the vibe off. You know, fresh and summery, then you got winter that's warm, cozy, bourbon-like type of aspect, where you want to wear a fragrance in the wintertime. Those type of, you know, accords for the wintertime. I'm talking too much. You know what I mean. All right, fellas, my final thoughts on this beautiful fragrance right here by Haramain. This right here, if you are a fan of citrusy, green fougere, just ozonic, like a brisk, just appealing, fantastic, savory type of a fragrance that this is. If you are a fan of those scent profiles, this is the one for you. If you can find this out there in the wild world of Burlington, get your hands on this. I've seen plenty of these, you know, as the days and the weeks went past of visiting my local Burlington and other Burlingtons in my area. Please find an opportunity to get this. It is wonderful. Very, very wonderful. So that's all that I have for Scent Talk TV, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, you know what to do. You gotta like, comment, share, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. And I will see you guys in the next video. Be safe out there and be blessed. Have a good one. And I'm out of here. Peace.